Hi, this is Aurelio Porfiri speaking for another Cantus podcast. Today, I want to tell you a kind of weird story that happened to me a few days ago in a Roman church. One morning, I go to this very beautiful church in the Rome center, and I enter because I want just to stay a few minutes with myself. When I entered, the church was empty or almost empty. Maybe there was only the sacristan and myself. I noticed immediately something that I also noticed in other churches. So, what I noticed was that a CD or a recording of Gregorian chant was played on the background. So, it was, of course, very nice for me. It was very peaceful. I hear this music that certainly help a lot to meditate and to pray in that moment. So I did my prayer and I listened, of course, to the beautiful singing that was coming from the background when the church was empty. But then I start to think and I say, but how come that these priests that run this church, they put Gregorian chant recordings when the church is empty, but they allow very weird kind of music when the church is not empty, so when there are liturgical celebrations. It What I mean is, how come that if you understand that Gregorian chant or organ music or polyphonic music favor the prayer, so uh, you don't allow it during the mass or during other ceremonies, but you allow it when there is no one or is supposed to be no one in the church. Is it not a contradiction? I mean, you understand that this is good for our soul, but then you don't allow this to be used when it matters most. So during the Mass, and also you don't allow this music to be used for the exact right uh, that the music was done for. So I start to think this because I knew and I know that in this church, indeed, when there are the masses, I mean, there is no Gregorian chant or not polyphony, but it's allowed to use all this kind of uh, contemporary music, as they call it, that certainly does not help to pray, but indeed help us I have to say, help us um to to have our mind going everywhere except where it should go, so that it means to God. So all of this I have thought when I go out from the church, because I think that this is a very big misunderstanding, and I want only to hope that the priests that are in charge of this church, they don't really think there is no bad intention on what they are doing. uh, and there is also another very important thing that we should reflect. Um, this importance of using the right kind of music for the liturgy is also something that marketing people have understood very, very well. You try to think a little when there is like an ad that they want to make you think about church things. What kind of music they use, at least here in Italy? They certainly don't use music with guitars or what they call contemporary music, but they use like organ music, Gregorian chant music, or polyphonic music, even in documentaries. When they want to let you think about sacred things or sacred atmosphere, they use this kind of music, because even if the people is now very highly diseducated to this kind of repertoire, but still it's very easy to associate polyphonic music, Gregorian chant, organ music with sacred atmosphere. So, if this was understood by marketing people, that of course they want to make money, so they are very careful about the tools they use in their ad and in their effort to promote certain products. Why this is not being understood by church people is really something that for me is amazing that they cannot get this. I mean that young people will certainly not be converted by sloppy tunes and party music. I mean, this is very evident. We have people that maybe they enjoy to play the guitar for some months because for them it's fun, and so they play it in church, and then they go out of the church when they reach a certain age because that music certainly not help them to stay in the church. There is no reason why I should have a reason to be in church for a kind of music I can have much better and with much better quality outside of the church. So I really start to think about all those things that, of course, for me are very important, and I devoted my life to all these issues. And I was really amazed to think how come that, these things seem to be so evident, so logical, so straightforward, but the church people, I mean, people that you supposed to be so highly educated, they cannot get it. They cannot grasp that it's useless that you put Gregorian chant when the church is empty. And so no one is supposed to be there and listen to that. And when there is really need for that kind of music, you prevent the people to use it. I mean, that is not really amazing. I mean, it's really, I mean, I use the word amazing, but I should be using the word disappointing or distressing. Because how come that these people cannot get what seems so easy? Of course, you can share also your opinion. You can reply in the box below where there are the message that you can, of course, say if you agree with me or not, or what is your opinion on this very topic. If you are so kind to subscribe to this podcast and to this newsletter, and also to support it, it will be very useful for me because it will help me to continue this effort that I think is very needed in the very how to say, in this very uh, uh, disappointing atmosphere that we are living regarding liturgy and music. And not is not well understood that especially in times like today where there are so many bad things happening in the world, the pandemics, the war, many things that are not as they should be. Liturgy and sacred music should help us to give us that kind of strength that help us to face all these challenges in the right way. So if you can help, I would really appreciate. So thank you very much because you have followed this podcast, and I hope to have you also for the next one. Thank you, and bye bye.